Well, hello there, fellow humans, and welcome to yet another video. Now, this one is a special one, because it is a serious one. So, I did my daily flip through Twitter today, because I only do it once a day. I try to avoid social media as much as possible. I only use Twitter to promote my YouTube videos, which I think is very wise. However, I noticed some tweets that I wasn't that excited about, because, well, you know, and now I'm talking mainly to you people in the United States of America, you've got elections today, which means that a lot of people will want to express their opinion about the two candidates, and they will want to say who they voted for, which is absolutely alright. Everybody is entitled to their own opinion. I myself, I couldn't care less. I'm from Europe. I don't care who sits on the Iron Throne of America. I don't even care about politics in my own country. But what I do care about is art, in general. Art is something that helps me survive life and the world each and every day. Be it consuming art passively, reading, watching films, but mainly reading. Literature, books, novels, poetry, comic books, manga, or watching films, listening to music, or doing art or making art actively, writing my own stuff, trying to publish my own stuff in the Czech Republic, which is virtually impossible if you've got my mindset, which means that I have to try to self-publish my own work. A lot of people have to do that these days, and the main reason is their political opinions. Because, and now let's focus only and strictly on the comic book industry, there are people who are not welcome in the comic book industry because of their political opinion, and that is wrong. As I said, everybody is entitled to their own opinion, and it is quite understandable that these opinions will reflect or will be reflected in the work of art of a particular artist or a writer, an author, sometimes even a penciler. I myself know that from my own experience. If you read my stories, my poetry, you will clearly understand my point of view of the world and how I understand it, and my own, well, philosophy, my own ideas, my stands, and maybe to a certain extent even my own political opinions, which I do not really like to talk about. And that is quite alright, as long as the work of art is good. And that is, of course, subjective. Art is highly subjective. I might love a comic book that somebody else might hate. But it seems to me, and not just, you know, it's not just me, it's a fact, it is an undeniable fact, that there are people, artists and writers, and mainly writers do that, who are actively discouraging their audience, their fans, and ultimately their customers from buying their product, from buying their comic books, because of politics. I saw certain tweets on Twitter where the writers specifically said, if you vote for this and that person, you can F off. Which means, if you do not share my opinion, I do not want you to buy my work of art. Which means that I will not make that, much money. Or that I will lose half the audience, half the money, half my customers. Taken from the other perspective, if I love art, a certain book, a certain comic book, whose writer votes for the other person that I vote, or rather, if this artist's or this writer's political opinions differ from mine, not I, but people don't buy his book. Many people, not all people, but there are people like that. They don't buy comic books from a certain author just because that author's opinions are different from theirs. Well, as I said, if you want to do that like this, do it. It's up to you. But my opinion is that the comic book industry has found itself in an unpleasant situation because of this approach. Because a lot of people are being mean and violent towards other people whose political opinions differ from their own. If you look at my bookshelf, or more specifically now, at the graphic novel, comic book, trade paperback, omnibus section of my library, you will see comic books from all sorts of people. And now let's just take 2 examples. You will see comic books written by Scott Snyder. I've got most of the Batman-related comic books written by Scott Snyder. And you will also see books by Ethan Van Sciver. If you look into my short boxes, you will see a lot of single issues of Batman from the New 52 reboot, written by Scott Snyder, illustrated by Greg Capullo, but you will also find a lot of old school 90s comic book issues written and drawn by Ethan Van Sciver, and the new ones that he published through Indiegogo. These 2 people, they tweeted very different things on Twitter today as far as the 2 candidates, the presidential candidates, go. And none of these men were mean or violent. None of these men used curse words. None of these people insulted anybody. And this is the right approach. But there were certain creators who really used some mean words, mean curse words, which I do not think belong to art. And I don't think that these people should represent publishers who want to make and sell art, like DC Comics, Marvel Comics, Image, Dark Horse, IDW, Dynamite, Oni Press, whoever, whatever. So the gist of this video is everybody's entitled to their own opinion. Please do feel free to share your own opinion in this video, in the comment section down below. But that should not be relevant for one's taste in art. By which I want to say, I don't care who a writer votes for, or who an artist votes for. If I like the book, if the book is well written, if the comic book is well drawn, if I love the book, I will read it, I will reread it, I will buy it, either in single issues or in collected editions. I will put it on my shelf and add it to the collection of fantastic literature, because I do have great taste in literature. And it is just my opinion that this is the right approach. So make art, not politics. What do you think, my friends? Do you share my opinion, or does your opinion differ in any way? Let me know in the comments down below. And don't forget to dislike this video if you don't like it, or like this video if you like it. Subscribe to this unimportant channel of an unimportant geek talking about unimportant things if you haven't done so already. And if you want to, you can follow me on Twitter or on Instagram. Well, that'll be all. Keep reading, keep watching good stuff, and bye.